Hi guys, I don't know why I happen to be dressed like I am right now. I guess I'm cold. It's winter, and I am totally don't even have an unbuttonable shirt, but that's okay. How you guys doing? I just had to. I something told me to do this. I just something told me to. I want to talk about God a little bit. I just want to talk about some of the things I feel. It may not make me right, and it may not, but it's just what I feel. I'm just sharing it with you guys. Okay, so the existence of God is seems to be, or basically, is an absolute. If we exist, basically, God exists. But just to exist doesn't make God good. And since God exists and He has power, or you could call it might, does not make Him right. By just because somebody has infinite power doesn't make how they use that power necessarily correct. Um, I mean, if I could have all that power too, and I might use it however I want. Um, and just because I exist with all that power doesn't automatically mean that I'm good. Because what if I just define myself as good? And who's going to stop me? Who's going to prosecute me? If I have all the power, then basically I can define whatever I want to be good, and there's no one that even could challenge me. So why not just what would keep me from just saying I can define good however I want? It doesn't make it right. Might does not necessarily make right. If might makes right, there's a lot of problems that come with that. That means a person with a gun has the right to shoot me. But we know that's not we don't believe that that's true, I have a feeling. and then I'm here, I exist, but not to my own fault. I didn't I didn't create Adam and Eve from which my parents came, and I didn't procreate myself from which I personally came, but yet I'm responsible, even to the eternal end of time, for my decision to accept God's goodness and rightness or not. When I didn't do any, I not only didn't choose to exist, I didn't do anything to make myself exist. God made Adam and Eve, my parents made me. I had nothing to do with the fact that I exist, and yet because I exist, there's a good chance I'll spend all eternity burning in hell and suffering forever for something, for an existence I didn't not only didn't choose but didn't have any say in. Didn't have I didn't have anything to do. I didn't make myself exist, and yet God will make me or allow me, whatever, whichever, to exist in hell forever if I don't cower to Him or bend to Him or confess to Him or whatever that little thing is. Because so and so that's there's that. And so I'm not only in at this point, and maybe at any point, only an idiot would say would contest if God exists, because of course He does. If I exist, then God exists. But that doesn't eliminate the whole problem of the question of God, at least not to me, and this I don't think it does to a serious thinker. Um, and I'll just throw this in there: if God always existed, He didn't do anything to make Himself exist, so he didn't really earn that, at least from what I can understand. If I always had something, I didn't do anything to get it, because to do if I did anything to get it, I would have had to not have it first and then had it. But if God always had life or existence, He didn't do anything to get that. So in my book, maybe He just got lucky. Why does He get to be God? Just because He happens to be? Or and if He did have anything to do with being so great and almighty and all, then when did He decide to do that to make Himself God if He always existed? So if God didn't earn being God, then that doesn't necessarily make Him great either. Maybe great in power, but not necessarily a great morally or a great good person, because basically He didn't. He just got lucky. It seems like to me. Maybe I'm screwed up, but that's what it seems like to me. And then because He got lucky, or if that's the case, and has all the power, He can decide the rules. He can decide that His little nature or big nature, whatever, is what's true and good, and nobody could even challenge Him if it turns out that that's a misstep, or that's just He just made that up, because who's going to challenge an almighty, all creating, almighty, all powerful. That's what Almighty means. Always having existed person. There's no one to judge him. So he could literally say that whatever he says goes. So, but that doesn't prove he's right or good in that what he says. It shows that he has the power to do what he to enact what he wishes and wills, but doesn't prove that that's good. I haven't studied the particular thing I'm going to mention here, but I've heard a theory. It was from one of my Harvard college friends or something, but I was too busy to listen to the guy. He was working on his second PhD or something, and I knew the guy. Or something like that. I don't know. He was a really smart dude, and I remember something he said about some theory that we're all created by an evil God. Now, I don't know where he got that. I don't know what, I haven't studied where that came from, but he said that, and I've heard that expression. Who's to say God is good? Okay, but now the disclaimer here. I'm not trying to be a bad person by saying any of this. I'm simply, in fact, I would be more devious if I didn't put this video out, because I'd be thinking, oh my God, what do people think of me? No pun intended about God there. But I'm not. I'm not pulling punches. I'm really saying what I feel here, being transparent with my fans and audience, and being true to myself. I can't not think, and then if I have a thought, I can either choose to say it or not. And if I don't say it, I'm actually being more cowardly and less transparent than if I have the guts and courage to say it and also be transparent. I love you guys. Peace, rock and roll.